So hi everybody, this is Unedited and doing a little special. So hi, Unedited here. Doing a little thing here, as you can see. I'm going to be looking over some of the old Metal Poop Shit cartoons and talking a little bit about them, what went into the making of them. The very first Metal Poop Shit cartoon was uploaded on YouTube in 2006. Of course, the accurate info is kind of hard to get by. I could check the Internet Archives to see if I can access my old account through there. I have seen it. I know that there is a copy of it somewhere. But for now, I'll flash the date on the screen if I can find it. If not, too bad. Let's take a look at the cartoon and go a little step by step. So, based on an untrue story, that was that was a terrible little joke on my end, and you could barely hear the volume. There's the MIDI from Squall Strike that I've used countless times. I wonder if people have ever considered the fact that I did a whole cartoon of poop jokes. Oh, this is something. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that horrible logo. Okay. The first lesson: never use the color red on logos. I mean, this was before I kind of understood Windows Movie Maker's video crunching magic. But as you can see, this got crunched down to a really tiny resolution. So, and this is exactly what happens: is that this is the one and only time we see that horrible red Metal Poop Shit logo. And after that, I switched over to the much nicer yellow logo. Red, just the color red, use it sparingly and use it wisely. So this entire cartoon took me one day to make. So in the morning, I think it's been so long I can barely remember it. I don't remember why I put part one in there, whether or not I actually had an intention of making a second part. But, so, this cartoon took me one day to make. The sequel, Metal Poop Shit Part 2, was made the following day. Literally. So, in the morning, I believe, so I'm trying to remember, this happened a long time ago. I went downstairs where we had the second computer with the good Sound Blaster card and the actual microphone. No, it was still the old microphone that was hooked onto it. And I recorded, ad-libbed, no script, ad-libbed all the dialogue in the morning. In the afternoon, I started drawing the art on paint. Then I started putting it all together. By evening that time, late afternoon, sometime in the evening, cartoon was on YouTube. That was the whole process. Took me the whole day. That was it. And I liked it so much. I was so proud of myself. Then the next day I did the exact same thing. And I just had so many ideas back then.
Solid shit. Do you read me? This is Dr. Khan calling. I read you loud and clear, Dr. Khan.
I have no idea why that's an interesting thing. I don't remember why I decided it was a good idea to have that pink incoming image thing. And you can see I didn't pay very close attention. I always saw the codec volume bar as, it reminded me of a gun. So that's why I drew it like a gun. For 4.7666, I always have the 666 somewhere. Because of Iron Maiden, but yeah, that number kept changing. I think it changed in the third one where he's trying to get his frequency back. Didn't do a whole lot of research on what the characters look like. I mean, the inspiration for this was that there were so many of these codec joke cartoons on Newgrounds, and I wanted to try my hand at animating. I wanted to animate something simple. And of course I did it in the hardest way possible. I'll talk about that in a second.
Solid shit. Do you read me? This is Dr. Khan calling. I read you loud and...
Going from Metal Poop Shit episode 1 to episode 2, you will notice that Dr. Khan looks exactly the same, except I painted over his shirt with a flesh color. And I probably could have finished this cartoon much faster. It probably wouldn't have taken me as long to do the actual putting the frames in the cartoon process. But I was trying to be serious about this. And this cartoon has, if you've ever paid attention to, it has amazing lip sync.
Clear, Dr. Khan. What's up? We have a situation.
What's
don't we
up?
always?
You see how badly I tried to make Solid Shit's mouth move to the words "What's up," and it's like it's a level of detail that absolutely nobody notices. So when I made the first Robot Master cartoon, you will notice that a lot of the talk cycles were just mouth open, mouth closed, which looked terrible then, and I realized it looked terrible. It took me for a long while. I had 4 mouths, so it was mouth closed, A, O, and then the teeth. So that's when you see the pearly whites. And I stopped this frame. This frame looks nice. He has Dr. Khan has a little smile. That looks interesting. Yeah.
It appears your evil twin brother, Liquid Shit, is not dead after all. No shit. Yes shit. What's even worse,
no
he combined his
shit,
forces
yes,
with
shit.
liquid
Sounds
manure
so
and the Pepsi
awful
Corporation
now, that line.
to create the ultimate super weapon. Metal poop shit. Metal poop shit. God. That's a
And remember,
horrible
there's
name.
no script.
Well, the
I'm
weapon
switching
itself is
between
more
these
horrifying
voices.
than the name.
That's probably why I
It's made
gave
out
Dr. Khan just my
metal
normal
solid.
speaking voice, because
It's
I
an
could switch
advanced
back
walking
from...
tank.
Because I could. It turns out your evil twin brother, Liquid Shit, is not dead after all. No shit. Yeah, you could just... I just keep going back to the throat and going out again. So... Wait, you're really gonna go with metal poop shit?
A walking what? Wait, let me get
Walking what? Yeah, I tried so badly to have a husky voice back then, and I don't know if it sounds even remotely closer these days. But that's what I did. That's a lot of what I did.
straight. Okay. Sucky name aside. That is the most stupid.
That is the most. That's where you can tell there's no script. Like the pauses are so like you can tell that I'm thinking of what I'm about to say, and that was very very
How would a giant robot
dangerous.
be more original, Solid?
I don't remember if this one had a blooper at the end of it, but whenever there was a blooper, the reason I would always burst out laughing was because I was trying to think of what I was going to say,
Huh? Well,
and then once I said it, my brain kind of had time to catch up,
Snake, I ate. You did it.
and I
again.
realized like how absurd the
What?
thing my mouth
You did
just
it
said
again. You
sounded.
You called me Snake.
And then
Why
I just
does everyone
lose my
keep doing
composure
that?
and I start laughing
My
like an
name
idiot.
is Solid Shit. I'm Shit Solid. I thought you just said your
It's been
name
so
was
long, I
Solid
don't
Shit.
remember.
No,
I don't
yeah,
think
it
there
is.
is a cut. I think this is all
my
one
name is
take.
Solid Shit, but my motto is I'm Shit Solid. You know, that's a pretty stupid motto.
Yes,
And
that's
you're
what I used to do.
criticizing
I
metal
used to
poop
keep
shit as a
recording this
stupid
and
name?
starting over
Well, first
until
of
I
all,
finally got it
Dr.
right.
Khan, we
And
don't
then
need the
I would
profanity.
remember,
Sick enough.
while I was, usually when I
Poop
was
is
already
just-
animating that, oh man, I had that great
Well,
joke
you
I
said
wanted
it.
to say. And I forgot it on this
Man, I'm
take
just
that I
gonna
was
go
the good
blow some
take.
shit up.
And that's
Talk
why
to
I
you
started
later.
using a script.
No, wait. Snake! I mean, shit!
That was a bad joke because I knew I was afraid I wouldn't be able to keep the character name straight, so I made a whole joke in this first cartoon. But this whole first cartoon is kind of very meta. Well, they're all pretty meta. Oh, and of course, yes, I gave all the lip sync credit in a vain effort that maybe somebody would notice the lip sync. Oh God, you can see the movie maker effects. I don't know. There's something very adorable. Oh yes, and this is the thing. I always kept giving a shout out to homestarrunner.com. It cuts off the .com there, so that's why this is the reason why this is the last time I used this for credits. I mean, it was a bad thing to use for credits anyway. I just started using the scroll. Yeah, homestarrunner.com is kind of my original inspiration for comedy. Yes, and there was an audio commentary. It wasn't good because I wasn't comfortable with talking with the accent I did. So I tried very forcefully to put on the accent they taught me at school. which was a British accent. And I can't listen to myself anymore doing that accent. I wasn't trying to be fake. I was just uncomfortable. Okay, let's listen if there was a blooper.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't even get started. That was the blooper. Nice. And I put that in because I love bloopers. I always love bloopers. All right. But that was, so that was Metal Poop Shit 1. Let me check how I'm doing on recording time. Not bad, not bad. So going into Metal Poop Shit, no, part 2. Back by unpopular demand. Oh, God.
My name is Solid Shit. I'm shit solid.
I don't know, I was just somehow very proud of that gag. Oh yeah, I think what happened here is that I like the idea of the text scrolling by, but it was always taking, it was going too fast, and I didn't want to slow it down, but I also liked this effect, which I think I used also in Guns of the Bad Guys, which was the fourth one, in reference to Guns of the Patriots, obviously. And by the way, another thing worthy of note, I had not played Metal Gear Solid at all at this point. I had only watched a bunch of the Newgrounds things. So, but I was so proud of the first one, so I wanted to make a big deal out of the second one, so I made everything a little flashier. And that's why I repeated the thing that I was so proud of in the first one was the fact that that whole thing, I'm solid shit, I'm shit solid. The idea of the character solid shit was sort of already created before. It was just this dumb joke that we would replace the word snake with shit, to get liquid shit and solid shit. And then I just kind of rolled with it. And, that whole line, I'm solid shit, I'm shit solid, it's, which doesn't make any sense, because it's not very solid, because, the proverbial is not very solid. By the way, I would never ever do these again simply because the title is so juvenile. Not that I'm kind of proud of this because I did do several of these, and including a couple of extra ones that are still online. We did a little short one with Shadowy, but that was actually Metal Gear Solid, so it wasn't Metal Poop Shit. But I did the voice of Snake for that, and then we did the Aqualung teaser. That was a send-off on the idea was sort of based on the third installment, but we haven't gotten there yet. Whoops. Okay.
Solid shit. I'm shit.
I just noticed the original for the first episode, the title name is actually Liquid Shit. I didn't notice before. By the way, the reason I'm not self-conceited or anything. The reason I keep trying to push the titles is that honestly I love doing title sequences. There's something very rewarding about them. I should just stop doing videos altogether. I should just keep putting together title sequences because I really like doing them. Every single time I do the cartoons, my favorite thing to do is always the title sequence at the end.
Oh, this is fucking hopeless. Why doesn't shit?
I think I did that noise actually by. Wait, I gotta pause the video now. God damn it. Okay, so this is not the keyboard I used when I made this cartoon. But what I think I did for the noise of the keyboard was that I didn't actually hit the keys, so I didn't actually press them down on them. I just, if you tap them kind of carefully like that, it creates the noise that you're tapping on the keyboard, but I actually wasn't because, of course, that would have messed up because the computer was actually running. So this is my old wireless keyboard that unfortunately no longer works. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a very distinct sound. It's surprisingly effective. So that's what you do. I didn't want to go like tappity tappity tap because that would have been obviously ridiculous. All right, and of course, my eternal shame. It's a shirtless Tractor-Con. The name Tractor-Con, by the way, comes from Homestar Runner as well, because he was called Otacon in the games, and that's a joke that lots of people don't necessarily get. Okay, so, like I said, I could have done such an easier job. Oh, now I know why I did it. Okay, so what I did here was I drew him in one frame without the shirt, and now when he talks...
It's 3 a.m. Why are
You'll notice that his shoulders move up and down, or they move down for one frame. And that was an overlay error because you can tell that I copy-pasted it onto the pre-existing frames that I created for the first cartoon. And the reason I did that was that I erased the line from his shirt from the first cartoon, and I gave him the little indents from your, the top bones of your rib cage. You know what that looks like. And then I just copy-pasted it, and I inlaid it incorrectly. And at first, when you make your first really big animating error, it drives you crazy. But then I looked at it, and I realized, you know what, your shoulders do move when you talk sometimes. And actually, I left it in, and I think it actually looks better because of it.
3 hours trying to get MSN Messenger to work.
Also, if there's some truth to the fact that you put a little bit of yourself into the cartoon, and there is a little bit of truth to this. I think if I do one for the Robot Master ones, it actually comes through even more of like how much of my personality is in these characters. And I think Dr. Khan's a little bit more like the person I am, and I don't go around shirtless. That's what I'm getting at. But Solid Street's a little bit like the guy I want to be, the cool guy with the 5 o'clock shadow and too much testosterone.
Solid, you really shouldn't be calling me. This line has to be kept open.
I am proud. Like, the thing is, like, I don't really like the fact that you can tell that I was kind of just making it up as I was going along. But I'm kind of proud of the setup for this, which is, it starts with something completely arbitrary. Snake's trying to get Emerson Messenger to work on his codec, which makes no sense.
Why are you up?
There's no... It was a complete shot in the dark. I don't know. I used to use Messenger like a million years ago, so that's the only reason I even used that as the premise. And then I don't think I had used Skype before when I did this cartoon.
Anything in particular? Is it porn?
I love these frames of just averting his eyes. I love eye animation. It's like, this is the weird thing is, I think every animator probably agrees with this, that doing the little details, it's the thing that probably nobody notices and nobody cares about. But you can do so much with eye movement. It's so great. I love doing facial animation in general.
So, are you gonna help me install Messenger or just go back to wanking? Shit.
That's a joke. I used wanking just because
it's government property.
Probably me and Ville thought that was a really funny word for jerking off.
They can't afford to.
I wasn't aware. I think I wasn't even aware of the term to jerk off. So that's why I used wanking. But it's the wrong form of English. It doesn't quite work so well. I was so proud of this cartoon once, and now honestly I don't think it's actually that good.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry to admit that, but yes.
Solid.
Okay.
Oh my god.
But this match breaking thing, and you can see his eyes jiggle a little bit. Oh, that was the one reprise. It was that one reprise, and I love doing this too. I do think this is really great. Is that I established these characters in the first cartoon, and now I get a whole range of emotions from them. Like Dr. Khan gets pissed. Alright, and here are the much nicer end credits. I love doing credits. Man! Like I said, I should stop doing cartoons altogether. I should just do credits. Oh, I gave a shout out to Weeble. Like, Weeble needs a shout out from me, goddammit. But I just wanted to, I guess I wanted to give acknowledgement to all my, comedic influences. Is there a...
Look, the government has bigger things on their plate. They can't afford you to have...
That wasn't such good. That was such a good blooper. Unless it's not. Ouch. That's dumb. Alright. Okay, big leap from episode 2 to episode 3 is that in between this, I did the first two cartoons in early 2006, and I did this one in the summer. And between these two, I actually bought Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Oh god. Okay, I used to be so proud of this cartoon too, but now honestly, I feel I cringe a little bit when I look at it because this was such a fanboy thing for me.
Solid shit here. What's up? Hi, shit. It's me, Dr. Khan. I've got
You notice I redrew the graphics to make them look much nicer. I didn't get Dr. Khan's head right though.
Sorry, shit.
If you look at his eyes, they're not.
Assignment is... Yeah?
Oh, they did use the incoming image.
What the hell?
Man, I haven't watched these cartoons in such a while, so I completely forgot about that.
Hit the reset frequency button. Okay, how the hell does this work anyway?
So basically, I had.
Hello, Codec Tech Support. How may I help you?
Okay, so this is the character we reused for the Aqualon cartoon.
Codec Tech Support. How may I help you? Wait. Oh shit! Did Shithound move their tech support to India? That is correct, sir. How may I help you?
Nothing against Indians. I just wanted to do a funny voice.
Okay. I need to reestablish contact.
And I think I completely screwed that up. I don't think it's the guys who wear the red dots on their heads. I think that's women only.
The back of what? The back of the
He actually looks like an Indian Mario. I just now noticed, like, I have a hard time kicking my artistic habit because I learned how to draw Mario such a long time ago. I'm doing my Sean Connery, but this is not my Sean Connery impression at its best.
You're still alive. That's right, shit. And I've come here to
Accept my revenge upon you.
Perturbed.
Yes. Yes, you can tell that I was kind of living in the moment. I didn't. So, even though I kind of flubbed the dialogue a little bit. Oh, and this is the thing. I was just kind of obsessed with this song, you know, Papa Roach's Last Resort. So I did a horrible Irish accent and tried to sing it. And then when I got to the moment, I realized, oh fuck, I recorded this, but I really don't want to animate it. I got lazy, that's the only excuse. And this was my one and only Monkey Island send-up. I used it up on not Dr. Dread, Captain Dread. The song, I did not make that up, that's from Monkey Island 3.
Captain Dread. They
breathe. I am happy with that. My one time using the Gollum accent. So this was kind of the dumping ground for all the accents that I had acquired at that point.
Could you hold on for just a little bit longer? Oh, come on, shit.
It's true that the Revenge of Dish Best of Coal, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Hello, Codec Tech Support. How may I... Now listen here, kebab boy.
I think this is the thing I was getting at. It was that I wanted to,
I swear, I will kill you.
in the second cartoon, I had Dr. Khan lose his shit with Solid Shit. And now I wanted to Solid Shit to lose his temper and get really angry.
Yeah. And? Oh, yes, sir. You are looking
I reused this voice I used the Solid Shit voice completely for Metal Man in the Robot Master cartoons. I'm not afraid to admit it. If it's a good voice, I'll reuse it.
Okay, thanks. Wait, sir. Okay, Dr. Khan, I'm back. So, what was this assignment you had for me? Huh? Oh, yeah. It was nothing...
I'm kind of proud of this, too. Like, I did invent this last-second thing where it's... The super important assignment was just to get a souvenir.
Right up your ass.
That facial animation, I am kind of proud of that. Yeah, so... Oh, and this is my completely genuine love letter to... Because between the games, I played Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and I was so impressed by it that... Yeah, so... This is what happens when I really, really like something. I will tell people that, Oh my god, I just loved that game. Yeah. Kind of slow roll on that. Okay, so before we move on to I moved the box over my face. I cannot see anything. All right, before we move on to Metal Poop Shit Part 4, you will notice that it says V2 next to it, and the reason for this is that the version that you see on YouTube now is not the original version that I created back in the day, and the original version will never ever be shown anywhere ever again, because I wanted to up my game a little bit with this one. So number one is that there's a script this time, and I used to not like this cartoon as much because I didn't like my delivery with a script. But in hindsight, I actually think the cartoon flows much better. So actually, I think this is the first legitimately good Metal Poop Shit cartoon, in a weird way. I mean, there's a kind of I am kind of proud of the things that I ad-libbed in the previous ones, but this is just this cartoon has stood the test of time much better. But the other way I wanted to up the game a little bit was that I wanted to get rid of the Squall Strife MIDI, and I found a really good instrumental version of the song on Overclocked Remix. And because I wasn't so terrible, I've always credited Squall Strife for using the MIDI, for having used the MIDI, never actually contacted or talked to the guy or anything. But this one I felt really bad because I took the Overclocked Remix, and then I thought it's such a high production quality piece that I maybe I should just ask the guy if it's okay that I used it in my cartoon. Come to find out, that composer had actually passed away. There was a whole big blog post about it on Overclocked Remix and everything. And I thought, oh shit, now I feel really bad. So what can I do? I took the cartoon down. I think I just put the Squall Strife MIDI version in instead. It plays let's actually look at the start intro. Yeah, it's the Squall Strife MIDI version again. So this whole sequence with the sub and everything, like you would just take it straight from Metal Gear Solid. That's a sub. I don't know what that is. Looks like a poop. Well, that's the capsule that has solid shit in it, but that's a little ad-libbed humor. That's something that I don't think I scripted at all. It's just like when I drew the graphics and I realized, like, oh man, the submarine looks like crap. And that looks like a poop. So I decided, well, what the fuck? Let's put it in there. I mean, the whole series goes Metal Poop Shit. So, but yes, I felt really bad. And originally, this whole sequence went along to the music from that version on Overclocked Remix. And I think you can kind of guess which version it is if you go over there and listen to it. But yeah, so I decided, I felt really bad about that, so I decided, oh fuck, I'll just use the other piece of music that I ripped off from this guy I never talked to. So, but that's just such a no-no. And this part particularly went with the music, so it no longer makes much sense with this. But this is Guns of the Bad Guys, and it has no relation other than I just wanted to use the title because it was the fourth cartoon and it's the fourth game's title was Guns of the Patriots, it's Guns of the Bad Guys. This part I'm not too proud of, but this was before I started to realize, doing physical animation is worth the effort. Even when it looks bad, it looks much better than stick figures. Oh, hey, and this inspired us with Shadowy. Okay, I was talking about a different cartoon that we did with Shadowy, but this actually inspired Shadowy to do a cartoon where I did do the voice of Solid Snake. So it was Metal Gear Cheater, and I think you can find that on YouTube. And yeah, here we have the debut of the Colonel, who's just called the Colonel. And we brought back the Snake joke where everybody keeps calling him Snake, even though his name is Shit.
What should I
This is
do?
the first time we had these text on. I was thinking of having the text on, and I think I was just so tired from doing the animation that so I got lazy. I didn't do the text originally.
The hell? No, wait. What I meant to say
But I
was,
felt
I'll
in this one, I felt strongly enough that I had to put it in there because
piece of shit.
oh, and Dr. Khan's hair went gray.
Always ready to help.
This is probably my increasing knowledge of the game series kind of seeping into the cartoon. So we have the Colonel, because I went through friggin' 3 cartoons without my Solid Snake ripoff character not going Colonel. So I had to put the Colonel in. And this is the scene that inspired the Shadow Week cartoon.
Well, I could use the codec to upload a virus.
Oh, and put the TN there. That's my little Monkey Island joke again. Okay, so I did put in more Monkey Island things. That static looks like crap, though. I wish I would have done something a little better with that.
Nah, just some nudie pics. Nothing important.
And and Colonel doesn't look that hot either, but you know he's not the funny character in this scene.
And what?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like I could get Colonel was
How about now? Nope.
because it's Colonel Troutman from the Rambos, but it's just Colonel in well he does have a last name. I can't remember it for the death of me right now. But
It's shit.
because I wanted to have Raiden in there as well. And I thought, I can't just call him Raiden. That joke's never gonna fly. I mean, that's never gonna fly because I've changed all the other characters' names except Colonel's because Colonel is just a generic rank. I can just go with that. And I didn't want to call him Lieutenant or Captain or anything like that.
Something beginning with L. What the hell? It's the L key on my keyboard.
That voice, though, I think I could have done a better job with the Colonel's voice. I'm not above admitting that, but
Yo, Raider, what's
I called him Raider.
up?
This is complete gibberish, by the way. I do not speak Japanese at all, and another thing that I would never ever do in a million years. I used to do this. I used to do this a lot, where I would just sing gibberish Japanese lyrics in midis and stuff, and just to amuse myself. And I would never ever do that in a million years. No, not anymore. I've done an entire cartoon in Spanish, and that was fun, but no, not in a made-up language anymore.
Go for it.
Okay, and this thing, I had an I had the explosion, and I had the Oh. Okay, so I let the cat out of the bag, so it was the Reuben Key version. So I put that in as a homage to him. I'd forgotten that it was Reuben Key, but yeah, Reuben Key indeed. I think I put in Via con Dios just because that's what they put in for Raul Julia at the end of Street Fighter movie. Okay, the fifth one, and is that was my little stab at because I had at the time I think I had an ATI. I think I still I have no idea. I had an ATI graphics card, and I had gotten into Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in a really big way, and I always had graphic issues with my ATI graphics card. And because the game was optimized for NVIDIA, and I didn't have NVIDIA, so I was feeling salty about NVIDIA. So that's the only reason that's in there. I redrew all of this. I probably shouldn't have because I hate the volume bar. By the way, the volume bar doesn't even dance. That was the biggest mistake there. Like for most of the cartoons, it literally wasn't until I did the cartoon with Aqualung that I finally used that the way it's supposed to be used. It was there just because it was kind of just like mimicry.
Oh, I hurt my thumb. Who is this? Shit, it's me, Dr. Khan. Oh.
I remember that there originally was a whole lot more to this thing, that something terrible was going to be happening, and Solid Shit was supposed to be escaping from his bed.
I'm not real.
I never really liked this because I don't think this was really that funny. It was just my excuse to make fun of the fact that Solid Snake was going to be in Brawl, and But it was also an excuse for me to reuse the character of M. Bison, because M. Bison was one of the few standout characters from the Street Fighter cartoon that I made, the one and only.
I am Master Bison.
I am Master Bison. That's a great voice. I do have to... Sorry, it seems like very self-congratulatory, but I'm genuinely, when I listen to some of my old voice acting, I'm like, God, where the hell did I come up with that voice?
How rude.
I wish I had that kind of creativity now, because now I just use my own speaking voice for everything.
A commanding officer? In what military?
In what military? Yeah.
Do you accept my challenge?
Just a word of advice if you're ever going to do a cartoon, like, get somebody to read your script before you actually make it so they can tell you, like, to get rid of lines like that.
Okay, look, Bullboy. I don't know
Look, Bullboy's pretty good, though. Crapcom. I've used that Crapcom part whenever I'm really... Oh, Nintendo.
Just tell me.
And Pokemon. Okay, I take it back. This cartoon's actually funnier than I remember it being. I think it's the finale. The finale kind of drifts off where he's you know, where his painkillers finally sink in. Ooh, Simon Belmont. I didn't even Oh, that's not a joke then. Okay, that's the joke that I was not proud of.
I will return. Oh God, please don't. Just out of curiosity.
Oh, that was another part. Is like you could totally tell that my voice was turning from Bison to solid shit.
Rocky Balboa. Okay, shit. I think you're on way too much pain medication. I'm Bobbin Threadbeard.
Yes, I did get my little LucasArts joke in there. Oh, as you can see, I can't remember any of this. Another nice title sequence. And here's the last of the really traditional Metal Poop shits. This one that didn't have to do with anything, but this was the first one where he didn't have a codec actually. And this is where I did my Psycho Mantis, or I think Psycho Pyro is the character's name actually in this. And then we have the unfortunate guard who always craps his pants. This one I'm genuinely proud of. This one this one made me laugh while I was making it. So, shit hound.
Okay, I'm now going to teach you how to be a cool villain.
We didn't do this in Ken's the Aqualung teaser cartoon for his Metal Gear Solid video because Ken absolutely wanted to do Psycho Mantis.
It's my lunch break and then I gotta go.
This is the same effect that I used on Pharaoh Man. So what I did was, wait a minute, what did I do? I slowed down to half. I slowed down the voice file to half speed. Yes, half speed. I added an echo, and the echo that got created when I speeded it back up to its original speed would kind of echo longer, and so it created this very, very like cacophonic echo. And I really like that, so that's why I used it for Pharaoh Man.
Can we just get on with this? Okay, here's the deal. In order to be a cool villain, you gotta use your medical deficiency to intimidate.
This joke I'm really, really proud of.
I don't like where this is going. For instance, when I breathe heavily, it literally.
I don't remember if it was doing that. Well, any kind of breathe thing is kind of difficult to do. I wish I remembered how I did that. I might have done what I used to do with Fireman is that I actually put my hand up against my mouth and did the breathing. Because if you shouldn't breathe into a microphone because the noise it makes is really terrible.
Oh, asshole! Can't you see we're busy, dick? You're useless. Wait a minute. Where did you get tacos on this station?
Oh, this is the entry of the taco period, of course. This was a running gag with the Francisco Scaramanga cartoons. Where did you get tacos on the station? I love that, and then.
Psycho, stop killing my henchmen.
Oy, that is.
You. I stepped in a brown puddle.
My liquid shit voice has never been very good, but then again, it's Cam Clark, so who can compete with Cam Clark?
Shut up.
I love that. This is one of my favorite outros from any of the Metal Poop shit. Oh, this is... I think I had an idea of actually doing like a deleted scene where they showed like that the fire that you showed, that they didn't actually burn the guard, but actually it was like a pile of cute animals and that got lit up into flame. But I think that was a little too much. I thought like, man, I can't do that. That's just an idea in the back of my head. Okay, this was something that I did in November. You can tell because I had to put in this whole thing about how Father's Day is in different is at different times of the year depending on the country you live in. So I made a themed Metal Poop shit. No reason at all. I just had a hankering. When did I do this, actually? I can't even remember anymore. So it was in 2007. So this was the very tail end of the franchise, pretty much. And then I did one more, which was the old new shit.
Solid shit here. What the? Hello, shit. It's liquid. Oh, great. What do you want? Well,
I think I actually... That looks like I completely reused it from the previous cartoon. Actually, I have to check now. Was I actually that lazy that I reused the character model? I did! I totally did! Did reuse...
What to give to Big Ted?
Yes, I completely, reused that. Yes! Yeah, I completely reused it. I'd forgotten about that. I thought I'd gotten to the point of this where I was always redrawing the graphics, but apparently not. That's cool, I forgot about that.
That's none of your business. Well, what would you give him? Well, he doesn't have arms, right?
There's one piece of line in this cartoon that I really didn't like at all, was the way you have no imagination whatsoever. You could tell that my intonation was going down a little bit. It was for reasons like that, because I didn't catch myself doing it while I was doing the recording, because I didn't have a voice director. I was directing myself.
Well, he's your dad too. What? Yes.
This is the big joke at the end. And I think you can hear me switch voices like a little too quickly.
Is my father? Yes. No.
Like that, my father. I wish it would have been a little bit more impactful. And then the very final one was the old new shit, which was my proper. This should have been called the Guns of the Bad Guys, because this was actually a parody of Guns and Patriots, and it's also in widescreen, although in the actual YouTube video, if you go back and look at it, it's actually 4.3, and I just put the black boxes there. That eye patch looks terrible. I really should have drawn it better.
Jesus! I thought this was the toilet. Well, that explains the color.
I did not want to draw
The old shit.
solid shit's pee.
Where are my goddamn pills?
That animation I'm really proud of. When I started doing shading in cartoons, I got very I can't hear a goddamn thing. This was... It's such a one-trick pony, which is why it's such a short cartoon.
In Metal Poop shit, the old new shit.
And yes, that's the Iron Maiden logo. I had downloaded it, and I wanted to just use it because it looked... It doesn't look that good, but I just wanted an excuse to use it.
That's a lot of shit.
And of course, this is the whole big splash screen of all the important people. So let's take a look at who we have here. We have directed by Hannu Mäkinen, rated R for retarded. Another joke I'm not super happy about. Fictional Features Association, that's obviously a take on the Motion Picture Association of America. Agent Productions presentation, yes. Starring Solid Shit, Colonel Ron, Dr. Con Erickson, Hot Girl 69, Average J Bad Guy, and L. Norman Shit, so Liquid Shit's second name is Norman. Scored by Squall Strive, obviously. Oh yeah, and Click and Play um, so Click and Play getting a credit there. I don't know what DMD is. Oh man. Wind sound. Oh yes, because I did the voice of the wind blowing at the start. It was just me going into the microphone, the whole. So that's. So yeah. So like I said, there's one more cartoon, sort of unofficial installment of this series, which is the Aqualung cartoon. I recommend checking that out. That was a good one. And then we did the one with Shadowy, and we also did the one for the Metal Gear collaboration, which, honestly, that was actually a pretty good one. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting.